Hey everyone, this is David at Finish Line Factory, and it's a little bit windy now. And behind me is a Lexus SC430 on sale with Autosport Group in Delray Beach. They invited me to come over and check it out. It's got a 4.3 liter 3UZ V8 from Toyota, making 300 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque with a 5-speed automatic. So come with me, let's go check this out. Now I will admit that when this car first came out, I was about 11 years old, and I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was just kind of, it didn't really have the sharp edges and aggressive lines that BMWs and Audis have. It's more softer, more curvy. And at first, when I was 11 years old, I didn't really like it. But now I'm 28, and I think I've grown to appreciate the styling of this car a lot more. So what I do like, it has these huge, I think these are 18-inch wheels, kind of reminiscent of a old school AMG wheel, if you know what I'm talking about. And this car is silver with these cream or tan leather seats. It's got a 5-speed automatic, which we're gonna go over real soon. It's got some decent trunk space. You got to keep in mind that when the convertible top is down, it kind of robs some of your trunk space, so you don't have that. But if you pop over here, let's pop the trunk. Pop that right there. There's your gas tank. So take a look at this real quick. Okay, so you got your standard gas tank, nothing special there. Just close that. This does have a bit of effort to close. Like it's not just swing it closed and it's good to go. It requires some effort to move. So let's take a quick look at the trunk. First off, this trunk door is huge. Look how massive this is. It looks like the hood of a car. You'd almost think that this car is like mid-engine or something. So lift that up, comes up almost effortlessly. And let's see, we've got, so this space is for dividing the convertible top between the top and bottom of the trunk. So I suppose the convertible top sits in this area here, which you can reclaim by just releasing that. And I guess this is where the CD for the GPS voice navigation would be. And you don't have a lot of trunk space. You probably have enough for some golf clubs here, maybe some groceries, a suitcase or something. But this car isn't intended for moving heavy objects or large objects. So for that you would buy like a truck or something. We also have some pockets here on the side. You get these anchors here for securing cargo. And underneath, if I can reach it, it comes with a little strap here. Underneath is the spare tire jack, tow hook, and various tools. Just go ahead and give that a close. And it just falls right into place. Nice. So let me reset the divider. And that just slides into place right there. And you're good to go. Okay. Now before I get into the interior, I just want to take a quick look under the hood. Let's see, right there. And there it is. The Lexus 4.3 liter V8. It's got this plastic engine cover on top of it, but feeds air from here. This is the air box. You got, and I like how everything's been cleaned up. You got the, I suppose this must be like a fuse box or something. Batteries over there. And the air box also pulls air from this scoop here so that it's getting clean, fresh, cold air. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop this. And let's hop into the interior. Got the key right here. Key is on the dashboard right there. As soon as you put the key in, the steering wheel just kind of whirs into place because it remembers your last setting. Of course, once the engine is started, it's whisper quiet. You don't hear a thing. So let me just go ahead and you have 2-window auto down, memory seats, as well as power seats. This locks and unlocks, and that's disables the passenger side window, so you don't have to worry about them opening up your window for whatever reason. I have a standard vent here. Your mirror controls. Normally, when I see mirror controls are on the door, so it's a bit different to see them on the dashboard up here. I'm not sure. I guess this is for your headlight washers, looks like it. And that little button, this little light there that blinks for the factory alarm. Tachometer, speedometer, and let's see, you got the, see if I can zoom in a little, get the, now this is something I've always found a little interesting about this car. So you have your fuel gauge there, and your temperature gauge, that's normal, but the transmission selector follows not only the transmission, but also goes over, and you have this almost automatic-like selector screen. So if I go here, we got reverse, neutral, drive, 4, 3, 2, and L. Putting it to L actually requires a bit of force. If you look here. So moving them between the different gears, different settings for the transmission is quite easy until you get into 2, and then it's this hard push into L. L being, I guess, low gear or first gear. Although I suppose you could use this to sort of get a more sporty driving feel if you're on the highway and you want to pass somebody and you want to be able to pre-select the gear that you're in. Another thing to note about the transmission. Oh, that's cool. That's a little coin holder there. Another thing to know about the transmission, it has 3 different modes for the transmission programming. So you have power. So when it's in this position here, it's in normal, right? So it's just going to shift slowly, shift comfortably. No, it's not going to be harsh. You put it into power, and it'll shift up a bit later. It'll hold the gears longer, and it'll be more for sporty driving. And you also have snow mode, which will pre-select second gear for you, and that way it'll make getting away a little bit easier. So that's pretty cool. Also, VSC off. This turns off your traction control. Over here, you've got, oh, that's nice. Look at that. So that's where your cup holders pop into place. So normally they're stashed away and hidden, and everything looks nice and elegant with this plastic wood trim. You just push that right there, and you get this nice dual cup holder setup. And then when you want to put it away, you just close the cup holder, and then you close the panel, and it just goes away. Over here, we've got the ashtray and the cigarette lighter. Right there. Standard radio, 6 CD changer, as well as a, check that out, tape deck. How many cars do you see today with a tape deck? And this car was sold until 2010. So that's pretty nifty. Got standard radio, presets and stuff. In addition, it's the newer cars, they have like all of these functions integrated into the radio, like your climate control, stereo, other safety functions are manipulated through the radio, and with this car that's not the case. You also have a, check this out, push that button and the navigation screen just kind of whirs into place after the panel opens. So looks like it's a touch screen, so you map, voice, destination, menu. That's pretty cool. You can change the appearance of the map. Info, well, it tells you like your maintenance functions. Tire tells you, I guess this is just to remind you about tire rotations and stuff like that. Display, tilt. Okay, so perhaps if, okay, so I suppose the tilt function is, you know, if at its current setting, if the glare perhaps interferes with your vision, you could tilt it back and forth to change it. So you hit close and it just goes and hides away. Look at that. Very slowly, just elegantly closes away. Over here, got the decent amount of storage capacity there, as well as, oh, that's huge. Look at that. All right. Now, the back seats are, well, it's a convertible, so you can't really expect these to have huge back seats. But one last function I want to check out is the convertible top. So you just push that button and see if it'll, no, I have to hold it down. Now, while the roof is in this intermediary state, it'll have this red light here, and the roof just opens up like this. And it's hidden away. The tonneau cover closes, and we've got open air. Look at that. Nice. So, parking brake here. Not sure how that works. I guess this must be a parking brake release. It has a foot parking brake. So that'll hold that, and then that's the release. Nice. It's also got heated seats, and the heated seats are on this dial. So you just select how much seat heating you want, and then when you're done, you just put it back. So cool. Alright, so I've gone around, I've shown you all the different features of the car. Now on the way back to the dealership, I'm just going to take it for a brief drive, just around the block, and show you guys what it's like. It's actually pretty comfortable. Oh yeah, one last thing I forgot to show you guys was the how to get into the back seat and if it's any comfortable. So looking at this, there's, well, not even enough space for a small child, so I'm going to move that up. And hopefully this might not be that bad. So, swing that forward. Okay, so I am actually standing inside the car, so... okay, that's not happening. You have some nice storage compartment, and you've got another storage compartment back here. Nifty. But the back seats are on this forward tilt. Like you can't, I don't know if you can really see it, but the back seats are canted this way, forward. So, on top of the fact that my head is actually above the roof line right now. So, if the convertible top was up, I would not be able to sit inside the back seat. So, this is strictly a two-seater, and what you would call the back seat is more of a rear storage compartment. But that's not something that's unique to the Lexus. That's something that pretty much is universal across all convertibles. So I'll just move that back. Alright, so I'm just cruising around the parking lot right now to move the seat up a little bit more. Get the wind in my fro. So when you're just driving around, it's actually extremely comfortable. Like I'm driving over some of the bumps. I'm doing like 20 miles an hour in this empty parking lot right now. The steering is pretty light. The brakes are actually pretty firm. Driving over bumps aren't a problem. You just barely feel them. You can put this transmission to power mode, see if it makes a difference. Okay. That's fairly quick. Feels about as powerful as the Mustang. These both have about 300 horsepower. What's nice is about, unlike the Mustang, this won't run out of steam after a certain RPM like the turbochargers do on the Mustang. So the V8 just keeps on pulling. Combine that with the automatic transmission, it just keeps it in the power band. As a sports car, I don't know how I would rate it. I wouldn't imagine this car would have like the best handling. Lexuses, at least of this era, weren't generally tuned for sporty handling, except perhaps the Lexus IS. This car is more of like a GT kind of car, more of a cruising kind of car. You know, put the convertible top down, cruise up and down the beach. You can definitely use it as a daily driver. It's definitely very comfortable for that kind of use. So. Alright, so I'm coming up on the dealership now. Thank you for watching. If you I'll have a link to the dealership's website in the description below. If you have any questions, you can give them a call. The car is for sale with them, with Autosport Group. So thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit like. Leave a comment if you have any comments or suggestions about the car. And see you later.